And now our brave heroes are off to discover the most secret of government secrets.
Cash is easy to get.
Haunted by yourself.
Starring John Neal,
I was pretty smart for second grade.
Kyle Noon,
My dad runs 13 miles a day, and he still looks fucking terrible.
and Everett Wood.
I admittedly have questionable morals.
Oh boy, oh boy. No. No.
Are you guys ready for St. Patrick's Day?
I'm always ready for St. Patrick's Day, John.
It's on a Saturday this year.
I know.
That
It's
is
been-
convenient.
We've been building up to this moment for the past 6 years.
I know, right? So
It's been
excited.
a long time. A long, long time.
Kyle's been waiting forever.
I'm excited.
Well, for
St.
6
Patrick's.
years.
St. Patrick's Day is my favorite fake holiday. Well, fake in the United States, anyway.
Right.
Do you guys remember the origin of St. Patrick's Day?
No.
St.
Saint
Patrick drove
he
the
drove
snakes.
out the snakes out of Ireland.
Gotcha. And in Ireland, they pray. They go to church, right?
Ireland, they don't. It's not
Yeah.
like in the United States. It's a religious holiday. It's
Right.
a religious holiday.
Right.
And like you'll hear kids who are talking about going to Ireland on St. Patrick's Day. It's like, oh,
You're gonna be
you're
disappointed.
you're in for an unpleasant surprise.
If
I mean,
you
I'm sure
wanna
they-
celebrate.
I'm sure they all go get drunk at some point
Yeah, but
during
just
the
go
day.
to Boston if that's what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'll have a way more fun in Boston
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like in St. Patrick in Ireland, like you're better off going literally any other day of the year, except for maybe Christmas or Easter.
Right.
Well, Christmas not so much because they're Catholic in Ireland, not Christian. So I
Yeah, but
don't
they
know
still
if they
celebrate.
celebrate Christmas as much as a religious holiday as it is supposed to be in America.
But the point
Having
is,
never been to Ireland, though, I cannot confirm that.
No, they do. They do.
they do.
Yeah. My grandparent, they just don't have as much money to celebrate it with, so it's a little more restrained, to say,
They've had famines and shit, right?
and economic troubles.
They
Economic.
had the one big famine, the potato famine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I don't know,
potatoes aren't
everybody-
indigenous. Because potatoes aren't indigenous to Ireland. That's why.
But yeah, Americans took St. Patrick's Day to a whole nother level.
And boy, is it fun. Just say.
What's the best St. Patrick's Day you've ever had?
I'd probably go with the last time it was on a Saturday was like my freshman
year.
of
Yeah,
college.
that's what I was
that
gonna
that
say.
was a
It
lot
was
of
on
fun.
Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
freshman
Yeah.
year of college. Yeah, because
I was
That was
18,
a good time for me.
and that's where I learned how to do St. Patrick's Day, which is like you wake up at like 9 a.m.
yeah,
and you start drinking, and then you try to make it into the city in time for the parade, and then you just miss the parade, and then you go hit up all the bars.
You specifically have to try to make the parade and then specifically
We
miss
miss
the
it.
parade.
By
So
just
you need to have the disappointment in right at the beginning.
right,
That way you have something to drink away during the day.
right.
Drink
You need to have
away.
goals in the beginning
Yeah.
of the day,
But the
and
goal
those
is-
goals need to
Well, you
be
need to
ruined by
justify.
midday.
You need to justifiably drink away something sad and disappointing.
the goal is
and
always
depressing.
to miss the parade.
Have you been to the parade?
No, I've always just missed it. That's the point.
Yeah, I haven't even tried to go. Like, I always avoid it.
Like every year, you always just miss it.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I remember freshman year, McKeeb's was open all day, and they turned the beer green.
Yeah.
They had the outside open and everything. It was nice.
For those of our listeners who don't know,
It was a nice day that day. I remember specifically.
Beautiful.
our school had 3 shitty underage college bars that catered to us.
Well, it had 3 that were open at any given time, but it had
Yes.
like 5.
Right.
5, but like I think,
But only about 3 of them were open.
Yeah, 3 of them
at
are
any given time.
okay. Anywhere between 2 and 5 bars that specifically were open to underage kids,
Right.
and let in either Hofstra students or local high schoolers.
Yeah.
And one of them was McKeeb's, and I guess they were Irish themed, although
that was the Irish bar of the strip.
Apart from the name,
Did have a shamrock.
Apart from the name, it didn't really do
Nick.
anything Irish.
Yeah.
Apart from the name, it did.
Yeah.
Apart from the name,
and it was painted green. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
It didn't have I remember a shamrock being on one of the windows, like a neon shamrock, but it was like yellow or something.
I
It was like the name was in green neon, but the shamrock was
I remember
yellow.
there was like a shamrock in the sign.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But that was it. Yeah. Not very Irish.
But McKeeb's was like the one bar that I went
That was one
most
of the
frequently.
more reasonable ones.
Yeah.
That was
No, it
the
wasn't.
less... Well, it was less date rapey. Well, not even date rapey, but less rapey than Dizzy's, for instance.
Well, yeah,
Dizzy's
for
was
sure.
the one that,
That
you'll get
Dizzy's
an
was the one.
STD from
Dizzy's
using
was
the urinal.
Dizzy's was the one that let in high schoolers.
Yeah, and it was trash.
McKeeb's was slightly more restrictive about who they let in. They still let in
There was some you
underage
had to be
kids.
19 to get
Yeah,
into.
Right.
that was
Like
McKeeb's.
Bedrock,
That was McKeeb's.
Bedrock you
McKeeb's
had to be
and
19.
Bedrock were both 19, which is weird. I don't see the point in that. But I guess
it's pretty arbitrary, but
I guess just to not let in high schoolers. That's the only thing I can think of, really.
Bedrock was too far for me. It was like past Kennedy Chicken or whatever.
Bedrock was the best one, but it was inhabited
It had the
with
best
the
happy
local,
hour.
It was inhabited with the locals of Hempstead mostly.
Right.
Like that was the furthest away from campus, and by going there, you are risking dealing with local population.
yeah,
And
but it was only like 2 blocks further than the other one, so it's not like it's a mile away.
Yeah,
but it
it's-
was the furthest.
It's like
When you're
on
drunk,
it's
it
on
matters.
and it's on the outskirts of like Hempstead.
Reasonable.
Of
Right.
Hempstead, yeah, it's like right on the border of like college and the ghetto.
I'll say though,
But-
Bedrock had a good happy hour because if it was nice out, they opened up the back outside area and they would grill.
I said
So they would have like hot
Bedrock
dogs and
was
cheeseburgers.
Bedrock
and
all in all
chicken.
was the best one out of those 4. I never went to what was the one?
I never went to Dizzy's.
Never went to Dizzy's. No.
I actually had
never
some
went
fun
to
times at
McKeeb's.
Dizzy's.
I know that.
Dizzy's was really sloppy
Yeah.
and trashy, but like if you go,
Nachos was the same.
yeah,
I've been to
Bangers,
Nachos like once or twice.
Bangers, senior year.
Nachos
Bangers
was
with a
fun.
Z. Bangers
Nachos was also kind of fun. I mean,
They had nachos all over the counters.
You could only go to these bars every once, like 3 months before you for the novelty to not like wear off. If you go to them frequently, like then you'll see how disgusting and horrible they are. You can only go like once every few months to tolerate them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Dizzy's was where they hosted Greek nights
Yeah,
for
if
the
you went-
frats and
if you
sororities.
went to
Wasn't
Greek-
that at McKeeb's?
They did that.
They
at
did
McKeeb's.
that.
I think
Might
that
have
was
been
like
different
occasionally.
I think it
but
was.
like
I think it was Tuesdays at Dizzy's and then Thursdays at McKeeb's.
That sounds right.
I think Tuesdays was like Greek night,
yeah.
and like I don't know.
Greek,
I was
Greek night. Yeah, I wasn't in a frat either, but Greek night at Dizzy's was kind of fun.
Yeah,
They were all owned by the same guy. I know that.
Yeah, he was like
I heard
And he was a former cop.
Yeah,
and he would.
bribe all the cops, and he would make.
Well, that's why they never got shut down.
Yeah.
allegedly.
Allegedly,
We don't know.
Allegedly,
We don't know this.
This
for
is
a
the rumor
fact.
across
We don't-
campus.
We don't know this for a fact, but I think
It makes sense.
Yeah, if the entire 4 years of graduating classes think that this is the case,
Also,
that's probably the case.
Yeah.
also
Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's a shitload of smoke over here.
Also, these bars were right around streets where there were
House parties
were on, but like the house parties in that area would always get shut down real early
Well, 'cause he
they
would
were
send the
right
bouncers.
because they were right next to the bars.
Yeah.
And like he would have them call the cops on these parties so
Yeah.
that all those kids would come to the bars.
Well, he had some
would do it-
quasi bouncers. They
Yeah.
they didn't stand near the door all
But they would
night,
walk-
but they
they'd
would
patrol-
walk.
yeah,
they
they
would
would
walk
patrol,
back and
yeah.
forth.
And
So
then they would, I guess, call the cops because that was, I guess,
Yep.
their job.
Mm-hmm.
And
they were also supposed to be backup bouncers, basically.
they were there to.
But they would definitely wait to shut down the parties.
They would
Yeah.
wait till like 10:30 usually, depending
Even
on
like 11, like there had to be a good crowd.
depending on which street it was on.
Well, there had to be a good crowd because if you shut them down too early, then people aren't going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But also, you want to wait a little bit later so that there's more people there to go to your bar afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a method to when
It was usually like
and why they would shut the parties down.
It really depends on which street you were on. The one that was like I remember closest, it was like right off of either it must have been McKeeb's. It was the one right off of McKeeb's.
Yeah.
If you were there,
Meadowbrook.
Yeah, those parties were for sure to get shut down between 10:30 and 11. Those parties always got shut down the earliest. And then, like, each consecutive street after would still get shut down, but it'd be between...
Later.
It would last later.
Did it matter what day? Like a Friday or a
I
Saturday?
don't think so.
I mean,
Did they do
all
both
the
days?
parties were typically Friday and Saturday.
Yeah,
Right.
so it didn't really matter.
But, like, I'm sure if you had one on, like, a Wednesday, I don't
That
know if they would
wouldn't
get
happen.
shut down.
Well, yeah, but it's also, like, who would go?
Well,
Yeah.
who would throw one? Yeah.
Yeah, who would throw one? Who would want to, like, sink the money in and, like, throw one?
Hump day. It's Wednesday. Hump day.
Over the summer, Wednesday is, like, my best shift at the beer garden. So,
Nice.
keep that in mind.
Nice.
What do you think that is?
Hump day.
Well, it's the summer, so it's like... And
You know.
hump day, you know?
Yeah.
You get a lot of business parties during the week over the summer. So, like, not... Like, a bunch of guys will... Like,
Happy hour.
yeah, they'll take, like, their client, their workers out, the guys who work under them, and pay for everything.
Yeah.
So that happens.
Mm-hmm. Those bars recently got shut down for good, though, right? Those
McKeeb's
know.
did.
McKeeb's did?
I'm pretty sure McKeeb's did. Dizzy's has always been, like, on and off.
Right. They changed nachos to bangers.
Yeah.
Bangers with a Z.
Spelled the Miley Cyrus way.
You know, sororities had
Yeah.
their formals.
What was
At
the
Bangers.
one?
Classy.
What was the one that was like 20 and over that did wing
Social.
day? Social.
Social.
Yeah, that's
Social was a good bar. I went
That was
there,
a really good bar.
I went there during the day, and it was very nice. I went
Yeah.
there a separate time, like just to eat dinner.
Yeah.
It was like myself and a bunch of friends. We went there just to eat, like to go to a restaurant, basically,
Yeah.
and it was very nice.
That was the closest thing to an actual legit bar.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know, they had
within
karaoke.
within walking distance.
Within walking distance, yeah.
Well, I never went to Nachos, or sorry, not Nachos, Social. For some reason, I just never.
Too far?
No, it's just
Good
it
place.
never came up. Like on weekends, like I always wanted to go to parties, and like the best day was Wednesday to go, and like I never wanted to go on. I think I always had night classes on Wednesday anyway.
Yeah, there was a lot of film classes that had
Like Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
till
yeah.
like 10 p.m.
I'm
The
pretty
3-hour
sure-
classes.
I'm pretty sure I had like several for most of my stint in college. I had Wednesday night classes anyway.
Yeah, now it's like a burger place.
It was
BurgerFi,
BurgerFi, which was
Yeah.
sweet.
Which is a chain, actually. I found that out when I moved here.
Really?
Yeah.
There's one in
I-
Manhattan.
they're around.
In the Upper East Side.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was kind of pissed off, though.
I don't know.
You know,
BurgerFi
senior
was.
year.
I don't know. BurgerFi was sweet.
BurgerFi was good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good burger, and they
Yeah.
burn the logo into the bun. Like that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And they
That is
serve
cool.
and they serve beer there anyway. And we're all legal drinking age, so
Yeah.
we were able to go there.
I was always
and order
intrigued by
beer.
their milkshakes too. I love a good milkshake. And
$5
they had, like,
milkshakes.
they had like a red velvet flavored milkshake.
There's a New York City burger chain that's similar to BurgerFi called Black Tap, and they have monster milkshakes.
Damn.
They're like $15, but if you see it, it's like a huge thing. There's like, depending on what you get, they'll put like lollipops in it.
Oh.
They'll have like candy
I
stuff.
don't know if I could do that.
Diabetes,
That's
here you
too
go.
much.
Hey.
I kind of
Yeah,
want
just
to.
like wear away the
I
enamel
want
on
to
your
try
teeth.
one time.
Yeah, right?
I like see them and I'm like, I kind of want it.
Imagine the brain freeze you would get from that thing.
Well, I mean, there's enough candy and like other shit that they stuff on top of it to counterbalance.
True.
the speed at which you drink the
I
ice
guess if
cream.
you're eating with French fries, it's probably all right.
I
I had a not a milkshake, but I had it was basically a root beer float from Alamo Draft House, but instead of root beer, it was a porter beer with a scoop of vanilla ice cream in it. It was really good. I don't really care for porter beers too much, but in this context, it was the perfect one. Because like you're not gonna drop a scoop of vanilla ice cream in a Bud Light. You know what I
that's
mean?
disgusting right there.
Yeah, you gotta get
Like
one
maybe
of
a Guinness,
yeah, you
but
gotta
a
one.
Guinness is a step away from a porter anyway.
Yeah,
It was really good, and it was cheaper than the alcoholic milkshakes that they had there.
those alcoholic milkshakes are pretty sweet. If you get the peanut butter one that's made with black rum, that one's on point.
That sounds delicious. Never had one.
I like white rum,
White rum, yeah.
like Havana Club.
My favorite
rum.
rum is Sailor Jerry's.
Yeah, cherries.
It's the only rum I ever want to drink. It's the only
It's
rum.
true. It's like
I
Captain Morgan, but it's
would-
better.
better.
Yeah.
And
It's cheaper and it has more alcohol in
and
it.
it goes down easier.
Yeah.
Is it spice?
Captain Admiral.
Yeah, it's a spice.
spice,
It's a
right?
Captain Admiral's not
No,
bad.
Admiral.
man.
You mean
Admiral
Admiral
Nelson. Captain Admiral.
Captain Admiral. Hey.
All right. That's the stupidest thing I think I've said on a podcast.
Maybe.
Well, not the last stupid thing you were
Yeah.
gonna say.
Well, no, I mean,
There's
we all
always-
say
there's
stupid
always
shit.
a new-
There's always a new bar
Yes.
to either jump over or sink under,
See?
depending on how you look at it.
The point is, though, to do it unintentionally. That
Right.
makes it all the more
Right.
rewarding when it happens.
I feel good.
Captain Admiral.
I feel good that I set a new bar on stupid shit that I've said. But anyway,
I'm not.
Admiral Nelson is another fine rum in the...
I would say it's not good, but I would say it's definitely on par with Captain
fine.
Morgan. It's on par with Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
You know, maybe slightly shittier, but not that much. It's because Captain Morgan's not that good.
Well, yeah, I still agree that Sailor Jerry's
Sailor
is the
Jerry's
best.
is the one. It goes down real easy too. That's why I like it. Like it has high alcohol content, and it goes down super smooth.
I'm not a fan of spice rum.
No, I don't like.
I have a beef with it.
I don't like black rum. Like,
black rum.
I don't like
yeah,
Kraken
no,
at all.
disgusting.
Kraken is way too heavy.
Kraken is my arch
But-
I
nemesis.
remember you
But
gave me
with
that
this-
handle of Kraken the last night of senior year.
Yes.
You're like, I'm not going to drink it, so you can just have it.
Yeah, because I hate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
drank
pretty
the whole
awful.
thing, and it
It
Did you black
was
out?
too much. I didn't black out, but it was too much.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah. But bringing us back to St. Patrick's Day, one of my personal favorite Irish whiskeys, is one that I've only found in New Jersey. It's called the Knot, and it's
I heard of that.
That's a cool name.
it's a whiskey, but it's also a liqueur. So it's 100 proof, and it has a nice creamy flavor to it too.
I'm intrigued.
So it goes down pretty smooth.
You
I've
take
only
shots
seen-
of that?
Yeah, or I drink it straight. I've only seen it in New Jersey. I've never seen it like anywhere else.
Interesting.
I've
Were you at
not
a
been.
bar, or
I've not
did
been.
you buy
No,
it?
I found it at a liquor store.
Oh, okay.
We still have that Bailey's Irish Cream in the fridge.
Oh, that's definitely bad.
Yeah.
That was-
It's been in
that was
there for
really bad.
over a year.
That's what's there for like.
Um,
I don't even know if there was.
who
was
was that?
Oh, that was
That
mine.
was Kyle's.
That was
That's
yours,
mine.
right?
I mixed it in with some iced coffee because that is my my pregame drink.
Yeah.
Is I either mix Bailey's or bourbon into iced coffee, and I drink that before I go to like a show or something.
Nice.
That's what I drank.
Do you
when
remember
we
the
saw-
occasion when you...
Oh, that was for I want to say it was my employee party.
Probably.
My employee party and I bought that. I drank most of it. I think there's only like a little bit left.
You offered it to me, and I was like, nah, I'm good. And, like, it's still there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have
Yeah, I
that.
totally forgot about that. I'll just throw it out. It's fine. But
One of
that
those things
is
that
what I.
you look at it, but you don't, like, see it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. You kind
You
of.
look
Well,
through
it's
it.
in like the way back too.
Right.
But
I know you can't handle your Irish car bombs.
oh no, not at
I
all.
remember last year. You
Yeah.
got so sick.
Yeah, last year, at the end, after a day of drinking, even though I had a shoot the next day, I wasn't getting paid on it, so it's okay.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
hell with
I
it.
take my paid jobs very seriously to anyone who's listening who might want to offer me work in the future.
Kyle is a nice guy.
I'm a good
Very
employee.
personable.
I'm a good
Yes.
employee.
He gets along with everybody on set.
Yeah, so we went to a bar after. They were giving out free Irish car bombs or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then I decided to drink one against my best interests. And
I had to
then-
finish it for you.
Yeah, I don't remember. I forgot about that until he said that. I asked him to finish it for me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I do remember that. And I remember walking to the subway and then blacking out, and then I was back here throwing up in the bathroom. And then I passed out.
I think I was home already, and like I was home already, and I'd gone to bed by the time you guys got back, because I just woke up and there was like all this St. Patrick's Day stuff on the table.
Yeah.
And I was like, looks like they had a good time.
Yeah, we did. We did.
It was
We had fun. I learned
what
that.
I remember.
Yeah, I learned that you can't let an Irish car bomb sit for a while.
Oh no, you have to chug those
Yeah,
immediately.
you have to drink those.
They're
immediately.
meant to chug. Any
'Cause-
bomb is meant
Yeah.
to be chugged.
Yeah, because like I finished yours and I was like, that tasted like
Awful.
vomit.
That was terrible.
There was the one time.
Which caused me to vomit later.
There was the one
Also-
time. Well,
right.
about Irish car bombs. We went
This is also-
to that
this is
karaoke
also-
bar with Nicole,
Yeah.
and I guess mine were not strong, because I must have had like 6 Irish car bombs, and I
Yes.
was not drunk in the least, and I hated it.
Well,
I thought you were.
So you claim.
Yeah. I thought you
We
were.
are a bit skeptical about how drunk you were. You say you were not. I beg to differ.
It was my 24th birthday. You didn't move in yet. You came down to
It was
visit
just before I moved
just
in.
before.
I moved in like the next week.
I spent all my birthday money on that bill because you had 6 Irish car bombs.
I paid for my
You
stuff.
No, you
are
didn't.
I
welcome.
did.
You paid for like $40. That,
Yeah,
that-
that's what mine cost.
no. That karaoke bar was expensive.
I paid for the drinks I had that night.
I don't think you did.
I definitely did.
Oh, whatever.
I'm
I don't-
pretty sure you
Why would I
did,
not have paid?
Because you didn't have enough money.
You didn't have enough money.
I paid with a card.
No, you didn't. You gave me cash. You said
Whatever. It's fine.
You said I only have $20 on me.
I do remember that. And I was sober.
Yes, and
I
you're,
did, unlike you, I was sick all day and did not have Irish car bombs because I had Guinness the night before. Guinness always makes me sick.
and your Coke was like $4.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Your one glass of
I
regular
just
Coke was
got a
$4.
Coca-Cola. It was $4.
I was like, oh,
why-
this is shit.
Yeah.
Never again.
Never karaoke again, that's for sure.
I mean, we
I
didn't
like
even get a
karaoke.
room, and we didn't even sing. We just,
Yeah, we just
hung
hung out
around
at
the bar.
We just hung out.
Yeah, I didn't think that was the format.
Right.
I thought it was just a room and everyone takes a turn.
Honestly, it's better if you just book your own room.
Yeah, make reservations.
Well,
Yeah.
you definitely sing more.
Yeah.
You don't have to
That's-
wait.
That's definitely the better way to do it.
Right.
Anyway, so my first time I had an Irish car bomb, I was at like a party in my hometown, like when I was coming home from work, and when we ever had our parties, we had themed cocktails we decided that summer. So every party we tried a new cocktail. Now we tried Irish car bombs, and I had 2 on top of whatever else I drank. And then I was sleeping out in a tent in my friend's backyard. And in the middle of the night, I stuck my head out and I puked in front of the tent and then went back to sleep. And I woke up and there was dried Bailey's Guinness
Oh, God.
curdled puke
Oh,
directly in front of my spot.
you're disgusting.
Did you step in it?
No, because I saw it. It was light out. I could see.
Did you step on it on purpose?
I licked it on purpose.
Just to make sure it was mine.
I melted it down and drank it.
Oh, Jesus. What are you, a dog?
I'm worse than a dog.
My parents' dog eats poop all the time.
Yeah, dude, dogs are gross.
Yeah.
I love dogs, but they're fucking gross.
I
This
love
weekend when
dogs,
I was
too.
home, I was sitting in my living room, and for a while I just watched my parents' dog lick his own butthole for like 5 straight minutes. I was trying to read or something, and I looked up, and he's just sitting there licking his butthole, and I'm like,
Were you entertained?
it's like, well, I was certainly intrigued by it. I was sitting there, it was like, this is fascinating.
The worst thing I ever heard of a dog eating. My dog, the worst thing she ever ate was a Dunkin' Donuts cup filled with just old bacon fat that had hardened.
Oh.
Yeah, she ate the whole fucking
God.
thing. But the worst thing I ever heard a dog eating, this isn't gross, this is just like insane, was a dog ate a gumball machine.
Like an actual gumball machine?
Like the full machine.
Like the small ones that are probably about 8 inches tall.
Okay.
But not the gumballs. The gumball machine.
It was empty?
I think there was gumballs in it, but she ate the entire apparatus.
That must have been a huge ass shit the next day.
Probably.
They probably had to surgically remove it.
Probably.
I don't know. What if dogs' stomachs are like bears where they can digest literally anything?
Or sharks. Sharks can do that too.
Or goats.
Goats.
Can goats digest
Yeah.
anything?
I think so.
That's the thing, is like goats will literally eat anything. They'll eat like all your trash.
Yeah.
Well, bears definitely do that. Sharks, I feel like haven't people found like license plates and shit?
Yeah.
So maybe they can't digest those.
I mean, I'm sure there's a limit for whatever any
Yeah.
animal can digest. I'm sure every animal has its limit.
Have you seen the In-Betweeners 2 movie?
The movie?
Yeah. Neil goes to SeaWorld and he's feeding the dolphins like hamburgers and like hot dogs, and like he starts giving him chicken wings, and the dolphin eventually just like turns upside down and just starts floating away. And he's looking around like, did anyone see that? And he just runs away. It was hilarious. Good movie.
That was a funny show. I guess they did an American remake.
Yeah, I heard that was horrible.
Yeah, it was on MTV, and they don't have a good
Oh.
track record with these types of things.
They don't have a really good track record after they departed from music videos.
There is this one. My favorite reality show is The Challenge on MTV.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's basically Survivor, but you can have a legit mental disability and still do pretty well on it.
My favorite reality show is Bar Rescue
Rescue is the greatest.
because it's
He just
he
His voice is insufferable.
He
to
just
me.
goes in, he yells at everyone, tells them what horrible employees they are, and then sinks 50 grand into the business and leaves. And then the business fails. And
Every time.
year later.
Every time.
I like
it.
Nightmares.
I like it in
Yeah.
an ironic way.
Yeah. Well, that's the
Because
thing
it's
with
so,
The Challenge.
Because it's so dumb. It's just like, he doesn't help them at all. Like,
No, but that's the thing with The Challenge. I watched it for the first time in like 10 years a while back, and I was watching it ironically at 1st. Like I was drinking and there was nothing really on TV. I was like, oh, I'll watch this. I used to watch it in 6th grade or whatever, and I was just ripping on it the whole time. But then by the end of the episode, they did the next week on The Challenge. And by the end of the next week, I was like, I fucking want to know what happens next week. And then
there was...
that was the end of watching it ironically. I was hooked.
There was one reality show that I watched that I saw a few times on True TV, I think. It was late night, and it was a bunch of locals for, I want to say, Southeast Chicago.
Jesus.
And they owned a weenie hut, and they would
General.
yeah, they would just fuck with all the drunk local college kids who would come in there at 3 a.m. trying to order hot dogs, and they would have them do stupid challenges.
That's
And then,
hilarious.
yeah, there's. I just remember there was one guy. The only one I distinctly remember is like, you gotta smell what's on Leroy's breath, and then Leroy's like this weird, potentially retarded guy. He's like, I just ate a bunch of onions and some garlic.
That sounds retarded.
I
And like
just
a
ate
little
the worst smelling stuff in
he's
the
like,
world.
I had,
That was like a Donald Trump impression.
I had some relish with a little bit of onions.
It is the worst smelling
And then
breath.
like the drunk guy would go over and try to smell him, and he'd be like, "Oh God!" And he's like,
I wonder if anyone just vomited like as soon as they sniffed the breath. Like, it was that
I don't
terrible.
doubt
and they
it.
were
I
that
think I
drunk.
definitely saw some people throw up on that show for sure. So yeah, if it's still on, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was.
What a great recommendation.
I recommend it for a watch.
Google search.
Google search the show Kyle was talking about that one time.
To anyone who can find out what the name of this show is, please leave it in the comments section so I can find it and revisit.
Well, the name of this show is Cash is Easy to Get.
Yes.
And a happy St. Patrick's Day to you all.
Yes. And make sure to celebrate.
And listen to plenty of Irish music.
Yeah. Get pumped.
Especially you too, Brian Stieglitz.
Special shout out.
Special shout out to Brian.